Hello and welcome to the channel. Chris Edworthy here, and this is my little Toyota Rav4, which between Christmas and New Year, and we're a few days into the new year now, I tried to sell it on eBay. I didn't have a reserve on it. It was for £1 starting price, so someone could have nabbed themselves a bargain. Now, I haven't driven it the last week, so I've actually got the engine running, warming it up already, making sure it's warmed up for us to go down the road. But I thought I'd give you an update as to how it got on eBay. Did I sell it? How much did it sell for? Am I stuck with it still? Did it go for £1? All those things I wanted to cover quickly now and give you an update as to what we're doing with the Rav4. And this Rav4, remember, is the Rav4 to Rolls Royce. So how many cars do I need to flip in 2025 to get to buy a Rolls Royce? And could you do the same? So let's hit the road and let's see if I'm any closer to buying a Rolls Royce if I've sold this little Rav4. I'll see you in a mo. So as I said, I eBayed this car last week, and I thought the time between Christmas and New Year might be a good time to eBay a car because everyone's at home. It's not the most expensive car in the world, and maybe a few bids would come in, and they did. I listed it for £1 with no reserve, so all my risk. And I thought, hopefully I'd get to £1,000, maybe £1,200, because I bought this car for £600. I've spent about £400 on it, and it would be nice to get a little profit. It wasn't bought with profit in mind, so break even or a little bit of profit would be superb. And it sold for £970 on eBay, which is great. It meant I could collect the money, find something else, maybe look at doing a auction, which I've never been to a car auction before. I thought that would be a good bit of content for you guys. It'll be a great experience for me. And if I want to flip cars to get to a Rolls Royce, I'm gonna have to somehow make a profit on them. Otherwise, it's just me adding more and more money to the pot. So, did I sell the car? Is this the journey where I'm delivering the car to its new owner, its new home? Unfortunately, it's not, because the eBay purchaser messaged me shortly after winning it, which is great. Said he wanted to come and collect it the very next day. Unfortunately, we couldn't work out times. I was out in the morning. He wanted it in the morning, maybe could do the afternoon, and to and froing. We agreed on the following day. I said I'm in from 10 o'clock. Could he come and collect the car at that point or shortly after? It took a couple of hours for him to come back, and he checked his bank account at this point and said, it turns out I've spent too much over Christmas. I can't pay you £970. I would like to pay £800. That's every penny in my bank account. I can't afford any more than 800. Will I take 800? So I politely went back to him and said, no, unfortunately I won't take 800. And I'm not in a rush to sell. I will just relist the car. He came back to me again and said, well, I've found another £50 in my bank account. So 850, would you accept 850? I said, no, I wouldn't. I will relist the car. I'm not in a rush. I said it all again. And he said, well, what would you accept? And I said, I'd accept the amount of money that I've sold it on an auction fairly and squarely on eBay. He hadn't come to see the car, and I'm more than happy for anyone to come and have a look at the car. And so I am stuck with this car. He hasn't come back to me since. I don't think he overly wants the car. If he bids again, I'll reject his bid and move on to someone that does want this lovely little car. It's driving very nicely. It's keeping me nice and toasty and warm on this cold day. 1 degree outside it is. So I'm back to the drawing board. I'm back to relisting this car. So I'm going to make this video. I'm going to post this video in a couple of days' time, hopefully, and I will let you see what happens with the live auction on eBay yet again. This is my problem, my dilemma, because I would like to do Rav4 to Rolls Royce, and can you do it in 2025? And by the end of 2025, in a year, I've bought and sold enough cars. The challenge I have is, unless I use an auction where it definitely sells on the day or potentially sells on the day, if I'm using a site like eBay or Auto Trader, I've got to wait for people to purchase the car. And especially when you eBay something for a week or 10 days and it sells, and then someone messes you around, do you take the lower amount of money or do you relist it for another week on the market. I've opted on this occasion to relist it because I think if you win a bid fair and square, you know, circumstances can change, and if you're honest and say, I thought I had £1,000, I haven't got £1,000 for the car now, I'm really sorry, I'm going to have to back out, sell it to the next available bidder, then I would kind of get that. And that is one last thing I will try. I will try an offer to the person that was the next highest bidder to this chap. But it is just frustrating when someone comes back to you and says, all I've got is £800. Oh no, actually all I've got is £850. Or probably all he's got is £970. But I suppose that's the car market, isn't it? That's the turbulence of buying and selling cars, which is why I don't do it for a living. But I thought it'd be fun to try, see if I can do it. I will alter my eBay ad. Actually, I've just rechecked the mileage. I thought it had 132,000 on it. It hasn't. It's got 134,275 miles. So, and after a run up the road to keep it going, it's probably going to need another wash, which is a pain. My nice clean Rav4, I'm following a minibus and it's just showered me in muddy water. Typical. In other news as well, a good friend of mine has just bought a Jag XF, 2 litre or 2.2 litre diesel, and it's a few years old. I think it's 2008, 2009, and he's bought that as his new daily driver, and he's allowed me to have a look at it and maybe give it a little test run. So, Jag in the news a lot at the moment, but is an older Jag with a smaller engine, a cheap, efficient car to buy and run. So that will be coming soon. I'm going to take that out. And the other update which will be coming, now we're in the new year, the garage I had the Rolls Royce dropped off to, because it broke down, has effectively been on reduced hours or shut over Christmas period. So now we're into the new year. I'm going to get down there next week, see what's wrong with it, see how much money it's likely to cost, and see if we can't get that Rolls Royce back on the road and back on the channel as soon as possible, as early as next week, all being well. Right, so I think that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to let you know that the Rav4 is still mine, it's not anyone's, and we'll be going back online with the link below this this video to the eBay listing, where you will be able to bid on it starting at just £1. So let's restart the journey on the Rav4 to Rolls Royce, and let's see if the next week doesn't bring us a buyer and a new home for this little Rav4, because it is driving absolutely marvellously. Pulled it out of the garage today, started on the button first time, haven't driven it for a couple of weeks, so the battery is obviously strong. It's 1 degree, so it's not exactly the easiest start. It's definitely a cold start for this car, but turned over first time, so the battery's strong, engine's strong, just needs a new home. So let's see if we can't do that this week. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you for subscribing if you have. If you haven't, please do. We've just passed 2,500 subscribers, which I really appreciate. It does actually make a massive difference to building a YouTube channel and getting the YouTube algorithm to know if people like your content or not. Without the subscribers, the algorithm doesn't work as well. That's why popular channels get more popular and popular as they get bigger and bigger. So it's very difficult for a start out YouTube channel. So if you have enjoyed this video, if you have enjoyed other videos, please do consider hitting the subscribe button. It will help out immensely, and I can bring you more content on Range Rovers and Rolls Royces as the next few months go on. Please also like the video if you have enjoyed it, and hit that bell notification button if you want to be notified of the next video coming out. And remember, we've got some good ones coming. Is the Rav4 sold? What's it like to drive a Jag XF? What is it like to have a Rolls Royce in the garage that's broken down at the roadside? And what's that bill going to cost? Anyway, that just leaves me to say, have a happy, prosperous 2025. And I wish that for you and your family and friends. And let's see where this journey along on this YouTube channel takes us in 2025. Until next time, I look forward to seeing you soon.